What's up, everybody? Rothstein here, Betting Public Sports Show. I'm your beloved host, Fame Rothstein. Today is Monday, March the 16th, 2026. Please like and subscribe to the show, to the channel. Leave comments, share the video. I'm not going to hold you too long today. No sports betting action on the horizon. Maybe this weekend, but not anytime coming soon. But I want to talk to you about a couple things I saw percolating. One of the main things is that Houston spring break. Apparently, college spring break this year, black college spring break this year. They want to do it in Houston. Used to be in Atlanta all the time, but now I guess Houston wanted to take a shot this year, and it's cool. College kids doing college shit. They should go out there and have some fun. But we saw a couple old as fuck rappers in the audience out there grooving. 43-year-old Boosie, Lil Boosie, Torrance Hatch, and then 45-year-old BG out of Hot Boys. Hot Boys fame. I don't know if they're even still a group anymore, but yeah, and it's like, you two niggas is just too old to be doing that. Get your old asses up out of there. And it's not that I dislike either one of them. Well, let me say this. I don't dislike Boosie, but like black folks in hip hop, we should have been canceled him with that Marlo Mike situation. I don't care what the court says or anything. It's just, that's just too, you kind of ruined a kid's life, it looks like, Boosie. From the, what they call that, the civil court aspect of it, it looks like you probably ruined that kid's life. Because you didn't help him at all. He's in jail for life, since he's been 15, 16 years old. So, and Boosie, the thing is with him, is like, I actually, I don't really like any of his music. He just doesn't rap the way I like to hear rap. I grew up listening to that New York sound and New York style. So, that's what I like. Boosie just doesn't do it for me like that. I'm not gonna say he's whack or anything like that. I just don't listen to his music. And, in recent years, he kind of kept his popularity and name in the algorithm, by being on Vlad, being like a frequent contributor to Vlad TV. And truth be told, he said some nice shit on Vlad. He said some, I think he's a little petulant personally. Boosie, just even in the recent days, whatever the shit is with Kodak Black and being in PC, protective custody while in jail. It's like, dude, you're 43 years old and you worry about how a dude spends his time in jail? Like, really? I'm talking about some, the streets, if you're from the streets, this, that, and that. Like, Boosie, grow up, man. You're petulant. But, like what he said about Leah Thomas, the former college swimmer that was a guy, that was a boy, a male, and then, claimed he's really a girl, claimed he's a girl, and all of a sudden he went from like 500th in the world as a boy to the number one girl swimmer. Boosie said some things like, hey, you need to get on up out the pool, man. Get on up out the pool. He said some nice, pretty, seemingly smart stuff. Said, those girls been training since they were 4 years old,
Yeah.
things like that. And yeah, you should get up out of there. And then, but my favorite Vlad clip is Boosie wearing a white Bally sweatshirt, and the clip is titled Boosie thinks that Orlando Anderson was ready to kill somebody the night he shot Tupac. He kind of lays it down like, you a gangster in there, with all these people in the building and blah blah, and you over there by yourself, you ready to kill. It's a great. That's my favorite clip of Vlad ever. I've watched that once a quarter. So, I actually like Boosie, but, you're too old to be at spring break. You get on up out of there. And then BG, he just came home from prison in the last couple of years. You guys they're both from Louisiana. Get away from them damn kids. You guys are too old. How you doing down there for the trick on some damn young college girls, college age girls, because they might not necessarily be in college. But you're both too old for that. And you should be ashamed of yourselves. Like I said, I like Boosie. I don't mind him. I just feel like we should have. I don't mind him, but I just feel like he's petulant and we should have been canceled him. And then BG, to be honest, I wasn't a big fan of the hot boys like that. I mean, I was a fan. Of course, everybody liked Bling Bling, but I like I said, I like the New York style of the rap, and BG did that song with Prodigy of Mobb Deep when Prodigy did his own his solo album. It was what YBE, Young Black Entrepreneurs. It's a duet with Prodigy and BG, and let's be honest. At one point during this time, Prodigy might have been considered it might have been a short reign, but he possibly was the king of New York at the time. Best pen, best writing, best rapper in New York at the time. He might have been that. You go basically Nas, Meth had a short time at it. Then Biggie had a short time. Then he got killed. Then it became, because the term kind of started in like '91 with Nas. We ain't going back to Chris and Kane and LL and all them. But, Nas, then Meth, then Biggie, and then probably, Prodigy, then Jay, then 50, then probably, there's been Jadakiss since 50. So at one point, Prodigy was king of New York. And I thought Boosie cooked him on that song they did, Young Black Entrepreneurs. I thought BG got him. I was like, damn, he let BG get him? Like they say, get beat on your own shit, murdered you on your own shit. So yeah. But y'all niggas is too old. You passed your time. You got no business hanging with those 20-something-year-old kids. You have children. Don't Boosie got a son like that boy, them people's age? How old is, what's his son's name? Tootie or whatever. How old is he? He's 20-something, isn't he? He's an adult. Like, you guys are just too old to be down there fucking around with them kids. Get out of there, man. But tell me what you think. You think they too old or they should be allowed to do what they want to do? They made the money and they living their life, living their best life. But if you're living your best life, you're in your 40s, and your best life is hanging out with 20s, what the fuck's going on? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let me know what you think. And leave a comment. But make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll holler.